Hey, what's up, rideshare drivers? It's your buddy Adam online with some more tips for all of you who are in the Max RSP program. That's the Maximize Your Rideshare Profits. Today, we're going to talk about tip attraction strategies, okay? You probably just saw the previous video about how to get your referral cards printed, and then you came over to this video. So hopefully you already went to Vistaprint. You've already paid a little money to get your cards printed. Remember, that's a tax deduction for you. And you can do your passenger referral cards only, or you could also make driver referral cards with your phone number on there so people can follow up with you. Let's talk about tip attraction strategies and how you can bring in more tips. When I first learned about this, I thought it was kind of cheesy, but you know what? Let me tell you something. I did it, and then I was like, wow, it makes a lot of sense. And you know what? Like I say before, 99% of drivers don't even do this. I take about 5 to 10 Uber rides per day in LA doing market research. I'm telling you guys, I've done hundreds of rides. It really is like that. The 1% become the 1% because they do what the 99% are not willing to do. That's why you're a part of this program, okay? So consider yourself in an elite group. You're in a private inner circle here, even though I'm teaching you remotely through the internet, right? So let's say you give me the perfect ride. I'm your customer. You put the temperature right where I want it. The music is great. You gave me a bottle of water. You gave me a phone charger. Got my phone fully charged. The were extra nice to me. And then at the end of the trip, you turn around and you look at me and you say, all right, how much tip do I get? Give me a tip. It's really rude. You can't do that. It'll probably get you fired, and your customers are going to give you like 1 star and say, that was so rude. I was maybe going to give him a tip, but then he got in my face, right? So you cannot directly ask for a tip, right? It's rude. And a lot of people, they got that feeling from the old taxi industry. Taxi drivers would sometimes like extort people to get a tip out of them, right? So what can you do? You can indirectly ask for a tip, and here's how you do that. Now I wrote it on a really big piece of paper, and I used a Sharpie to handwrite it so it's very clear to see. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your printer on your computer, and you're gonna print out a very small sign, right? And you can cut it out or laminate it. I recommend laminating it, or if you don't have a computer printer, go to a print shop, go to a FedEx or a Kinko's or any print shop, spend a couple bucks, type up a fancy little sign on Microsoft Word, and this is basically what it's going to look like. And you decide how you want this to look, what color you want it to be, and this is just a suggestion, okay? So your sign, I'm sorry this is backwards, you guys, but it's basically going to say on the top line, whatever your offerings are. So here I just put phone chargers available, right? You could say gum, mints, candy, bottled water available, phone chargers available, whatever you want. But at the very least, you should have a phone charger, right? Because some people, they depend on Lyft and Uber to get to work in the day, and they don't charge their phone at work, and they need to charge it on their way to dinner or on their way home. And you are their lifeline. If you keep their phone charged, they are able to request you again. So you should always have an iPhone charger and an Android charger and any other model of charger that comes out that where people have a smartphone, right? You don't need like an old style Nokia bar phone style charger, right? Because you can't download an app on those anyway. So anyhow, top line should say what your offerings are. So let me know if I can adjust the music or the temperature for you. Phone chargers are available, right? I put here, let me know your favorite music and temperature setting, okay? Then the middle and the bottom are gonna say in large print, tips are not required, but they are always appreciated. And you underline always appreciated, okay? This is an indirect way to ask for a tip. You're not getting in their face and talking to them about it. It's just there for them to see. And I'm telling you, people get in, they see that because they're all looking forward anyways. And people read stuff when they got nothing else to do on the ride. They see the sign, they think, oh, I could ask him for a phone charger. I could ask him for a mini bottle of water. I could ask him for a piece of gum. Okay, because sometimes they get in, they're uncomfortable. It's not their car. They don't know what's okay to talk to you about. So if you're telling them from the beginning, it's okay. Ask me for the favorite music you like. Ask me for the temperature you like. Ask me for the phone charger. Something happens in their mind. Number one, they like you better already, right? So there's a liking bias happening. Number two, there's something called the norm of reciprocity. This is a psychological bias. Maybe you call it a mind trick, but it's like you did something for me. You scratch my back, I'm going to scratch your back. You were nice to me, I'll be nice to you. And you know what? Maybe it's only 50 cents or $1. That's going to add up over time, okay? And what's crazy is most drivers don't even think about this. Sure, they have the phone charger sitting there, but they don't have a sign to say, hey, by the way, I do accept tips. Now remember when Uber first launched, Uber's whole premise was taking an Uber means you don't have to tip. The gratuity is included. And you know what? This really irritated the drivers. They were pissed off about it because these drivers were working hard. They say, why can't I have a tip? And the whole policy was if someone tries to give you a tip, you had to say no, but then if they insist, then you could take it, right? That was Uber's policy. It infuriated the drivers. Lyft, on the other hand, Lyft had tipping from the beginning. So we were able to get electronic tips with Lyft. And you know what? I've never turned down a cash tip. If someone wants to give me $1 or $20 or whatever, I'll take it. I've gotten a couple $100 tips, gotten several $20 tips. So you should always be ready for that. And here's another secret along these lines. If you have a tip jar, you can go on eBay and buy like a fancy square tip jar, right? And it has like a little mesh over the top so the money can go in, but it's not easy to get the money out because you want to keep an eye on that. There's been a few weird stories of customers stealing tips and trying to run away. But if you have a tip jar that's very close to you, or kind of by your elbow, or maybe even in the cup holder, a large plastic cup, right? And you just write tips on it. And this is what you do. At the beginning of your day, you've got your little sign, right, up on your dashboard, or maybe the sign's hanging over the back of the seat behind you. You can put a chain around it if you want to make it real fancy. You don't want to be too much in their face. So just a small sign, but it's clear and easy to read. And then you have a plastic cup or whatever your tip jar is, and it clearly says tips on it. Start your day before you even get your first passenger in the car. Put at least a $1 bill in there. Make it obvious that there's a $1 bill already in your tip jar. This creates another psychological mind trick or psychological phenomenon, right? Nothing wrong. It's nothing unethical. It's just something you're doing. It's called green attracts green. So if there's already a tip in your jar, the person getting in, they think, oh my goodness, the previous passenger gave him a $1 tip or a $5 tip. Wow, he must be or she must be a great driver. Wow. Oh, I can get a phone charger, I can change the radio. Okay, that's cool. Wow. If I don't give a tip, I'm going to be like a cheapskate. I should at least give $1 or 50 cents. So you're going to have people apologizing that they're only giving you $1, right? But that's better than before when you had no tip attraction strategy, you had no sign, and you were getting $0, right? Or maybe you were lucky and 1 out of 10 people were giving you like 25 cents or 75 cents electronically on the app. So now, whereas before you were getting maybe 1 out of 10 people were tipping you, I'm telling you, this is like magic. This will up your tip game like crazy. You'll have 3 out of 4, maybe even every other customer throwing you a couple bones here, there, $1 or $2. This adds up. I've gone from where I was making maybe just $5 or $10 in tips to where I was making like 50 to 60 bucks in tips every week. And of course you want to have a great attitude, you want to be personable, you know, make sure the door's unlocked when they get to the car, say their name when they get in, and you also do want to verbally just, if they're not a talkative person, you don't over talk them, don't talk to them about stuff unrelated to their trip, focus on getting them there the way they want to get there, ask them if they have a preferred route, right? That helps. Also just ask them, maybe they don't see the sign, just say, hey, can I change the temperature of the music for you? When I get in the car, as I take about 5 to 10 Uber rides per day, I'm telling you, 99 out of 100 people don't even ask this question, but the one person that does say, can I get the temperature of the music for you? Instantly, I like that driver more than all the other ones. And instantly, I want to give them 5 stars and maybe give them a tip, right? So that's going to up your tip game big time with your tip attraction strategy. And on that note, I made another video about this, which is public on YouTube, but I'm just going to add it in here. Keep in mind, the first and last interaction your passenger has with you is on their phone. When they request you for the ride, they see your picture, right? If they don't see a smiling face with clear eyes and good lighting, and it's like, you're kind of frowning, and it's a weird angle, like you're looking down on them, it's weird. that's the first time they see you before they get in your car. And when they get out and they're gonna give you a rating and maybe give you an electronic tip, that's the last time they see you. So that's their first and last interaction with you, is your picture on the app. So make sure, if you want to attract tips, you have a smiling face, like not too cheesy, but a good smiling face. And you know what? You can even update your picture with the seasons. So maybe, you know, around Valentine's Day, maybe have like a pink heart behind your Christmas, be a little festive with some Christmas lights or a Christmas sweater. And people notice that and think, wow, this driver's a really cool person. He's hip with the seasons and the trends or whatever. So be sure to update your photo, especially if you change like your hair style or your face style. Maybe you got some piercings or something. Update your photo often. I would say, like, actors in LA update their headshots every 3 to 6 months. I would at least update your photo once or twice a year, at the minimum once a year, but probably more like 2 or 3 times a year. Update your photo. Make sure you have a smile, right? That's going to attract the tips. And this is, again, something that 99% of people don't do. So do this. Go get your little sign printed so you can laminate it. I didn't even laminate the first time I did this. I just printed it, cut it out of my computer printer paper, and then I put like a highlighter border around it, and then I put the double-sided sticky tape on the back of the paper so it sticks right on my dashboard and it kind of looks like it's floating there. It kind of looks a little bit fancy or whatever. And I'm telling you, people will see this and they'll be like, oh, dude, I only have $1, but here you go. It'll add up fast. And make sure you have a tip cup in your drink holder, or you could on your armrest behind you, you could have like the square plastic box that you can get on eBay or Amazon for rideshare drivers. Okay, that's your tip attraction strategy. Please stay tuned for more videos. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, subscribe to my public channel. This is one of the private videos. This video should not have a lot of views yet because we're just starting the Max RSP program, and I'm so excited you're a part of it. Thank you for being here, and make it a great day. Enjoy. Thanks.